Now, before Sony had its conference and then Nintendo later on, there was one more third party to have their show of what they're having at E3 this year, and that was Ubisoft. And it was quite a good show. Arguably the best. I think it might be the best conference they've ever had, and perhaps the best conference of every developer that we're going to talk about today. It reached to broad audiences. It mentioned people from certain audiences, like the casual, got that out of the way really quick, and then really hardcore at the very end.
Actually, very quickly,
very quickly after that, which we'll get to in a second. But the way they announced games just did much better. First of all, let's give a round of applause to Aisha.
Best presenter.
I think Joel McHale, I'm not hating on him, but he did not follow the script that well.
Yeah, I think he just had a problem in general. I think he just felt like I shouldn't be here.
I shouldn't be here. This is intense. Of course, that was also the same year that they were pushing things like a breathing game, a vitality sensor game, and the laser tag. So Ubisoft was kind of crazy that year. So that might be their fault.
And caffeine.
Then Mr. Caffeine, and that didn't work. And then this year, Aisha, she was sarcastic. But not fully sarcastic.
Why did they have that guy from YouTube there?
That was a YouTube guy?
I think so. I heard that. He's the only guy. I think he should just shut up. But she shut
him down really well. So I think that worked out. She's a professional. She's a professional, I think, in presenting.
Okay, so let's get started.
So we started off with Just Dance 4. I almost expected that as soon as I heard dancing music. I'm like, well, at least we're getting this out of the way first.
Yep.
So Just Dance 4 was there. Coming to Wii U was a big emphasis they wanted to have there. They're like, Wii U coming out at launch. So, yeah, I don't know how the purpose of chores.
I think they showcased that at Nintendo's conference.
Yeah.
And then they moved from the casual to
the hardest of the hard.
Wow!
Why would they?
Wow, it was a huge drop in change.
Yeah. Okay, so we went.
Far Cry 3.
Far Cry 3 was one of the most adult demos that was
titillating.
Okay, that's the way to put it. It started off with literally the guy being straddled by an Amazonian type woman
chick,
and she had painted on nipples. So that was perhaps passable, but
I'm thinking about it like, wow, this is going on live on TV,
and like, oh wow, you're cupping her whole body. This is not making me comfortable at all.
What's this feeling I have? And the next thing you know, what she says, F this, F that,
and then
mother effer.
Yeah, you mother effer. Things explode. You see a woman almost getting raped by other guys.
But you kill them.
But you kill them, so okay. And then you get stabbed by
yourself.
By what might be yourself.
F, and then you see some
televisions everywhere, and
it was trippy.
And it was you with a guy pointing a gun at you, going, "Shoot me!" And it flicks to your head, and then who's this guy? And you're like, "Oh, that's you."
It's like, wait, I still can't figure that out. You're killing yourself.
It's Fight Club the game, but it's really mind-boggling. And to be honest, I was not feeling it.
No, it looked good.
Oh yeah, the tigers. You got to get shot tigers, and then she, of course, Aisha. We just gave her praises. She walked out saying she wanted a tiger to use a weapon and then shoot it. Bad form. But it was her ad-libbing. I understand. But
here's the thing. I liked what I saw, but wow, that's hardcore. They really pinned it on thick there.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be getting Far Cry 3, but if anything, the people who want the most intense shooter, I think that was the most intense shooter that
was intense. And the fact that it was followed up by Just Dance 4 came first, it was kind of like a, you thought we were all like, Just Dance. Well, guess what? Yeah.
The exact opposite. Just Dance and Just Prance. Well, I don't know what that even meant.
Next was Splinter Cell Blacklist.
We saw this before, but now we saw another segment, which was the Mercs versus...
was them actually showing a
multiplayer segment?
It was a multiplayer segment. It was a CG event, right?
Yes, it was CG. Oh, wait, yeah. Sorry, I was thinking of something else. Sorry. But yes, CG event. It was a CG of him breaking into...
a place, saving a guy, and then some other buddy of his was sniping also, so they couldn't protect him. In fact, there's going to be a whole campaign dedicated to co-op. So if you have a friend, I don't know if it's just online or offline, probably just online, you can enjoy a whole new gameplay experience.
Yeah.
And then, Avengers Battle for Earth. Again, no gameplay footage was shown here. Just another CG trailer. It showed some people fighting: Spider-Man, Magneto, Storm, Venom, Wolverine. And then as they're fighting and blowing things up, it pans out and you see the Avengers and title screen. I'm like, what? Is it like...
That's coming to Wii U, and...
I was thinking, it was like, what is this, what is this, Capcom? Marvel
That's coming out to Connect, so... I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that. No.
And then we started seeing some new game announcements.
Yeah, they're all about pushing, we mentioned the Wii U, so now we're going to emphasize Wii U stuff, and they brought out...
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they brought out Rayman Legends.
Yes, it's a Wii U exclusive launch title.
Yep, well, they didn't say launch, I think it's holiday, but it might as well be.
It uses the same arts, it's an advanced engine, so everything looks already painted, but using 3D models now.
And it also uses some 3D effects in there.
And a lot of jumping to the background. And the Wii U gamepad, you actually play as Murphy, the flying... the fairy guy, what's his name? I don't know what he's a fly. And you can actually slash things with it, help move platforms and pause enemies. And it looked really well. And then they showed this music-oriented level where you actually where only Murphy can see these special hit points.
And it fits the music as you keep on running and jumping. It's really intense. It was a great demo. The only issue I have is, can the game be played single player without Murphy? Because you got to play the game single player. You really can't focus on Murphy unless, of course, you can use him slowly. But how can you possibly do the actual dance music segment?
Yeah.
So hopefully that's not a big issue. But frankly, between you and me in the game, it won't be a problem. Then they showed. By the way, by far one of the best demos of E3 was that, because there was no hitches, there was nothing wrong.
Nope.
Then they decided to show off a new franchise, which was
Killer Freaks.
It was originally Killer Freaks, but they turned it into Zombie U.
And this is supposed to be a zombie survival game. They just showed kind of like a teaser trailer here.
Yeah.
They didn't show any gameplay footage. They didn't show any that in another conference.
Yeah, so we won't talk about it here. But let's put it this way. God Save the Queen. Going from
cute and cuddly Rayman Legends to Bloodgoer and saying Save the Queen.
Yeah, you gotta save the Queen. And then they had a teaser trailer, montage of all their Wii U games that are coming up this year. The total of 8 games. There were 2. Here's 4 more. There's Rabbids Land, which is probably a minigame collection.
Yeah,
There's
Sports
Connection, which is a collection of sports games. This will be very useful when Nintendo doesn't have a Wii Sports game.
And Your Shape, the exercise game.
Yeah,
and also Assassin's Creed 3 is also going to be on the...
Speaking of that,
they demonstrated Assassin's Creed 3. Not the Wii U version. They showcased here the PlayStation 3 version.
Yep.
They wanted to demonstrate that you basically walk around in an open world setting, walk into like a campsite, and all people walk by and go, "Oh, I didn't get my Mercury. Please find my Mercury." And
missions.
Boom! You just got updated Mercury. And he didn't even talk to him. He just walked by, and the guy was calling out, begging him for help. And he walks to this one guy and goes, "I got your me." Okay, take this.
And so the game might have some open-endedness to it where the other ones did not. I mean, I wouldn't know, specifically from watching the demo, how open-ended the game is, but it's definitely a lot less linear than maybe the other games.
And then they showed him they did a whole showing of him sneaking into a place, blowing up things, sneaking in. Yeah,
he went full tilt when he got to the actual fort, but the actual landscapes... I mean, they showed a trailer after that?
Yes.
The trailer...
Because they showed different... Because actually it's across like a whole year.
Yeah. So you get to see like the differences in the worlds. You climb trees. Tony sneezed. There's you climbing like large sides of like rock faces, and
we go in the field. It looks really nice.
It looks brilliant. It looks really beautiful.
It looks
we've not played Assassin's Creed games that much.
For me, I thought that when looking at the original Assassin's Creeds, felt like by the time Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 were different. Like one was in the Middle East and one was
more towards the European area.
But now it's but then after they dragged that out, I'm like, I'm done with this. Leave Europe, please. And now we're finally in America.
Yeah,
and now it feels like we're in a brand new place.
Isn't it odd that they have God Save the Queen, and then after the montage, it goes into killing British people? Yeah. But then again, they mention specifically that it's not about killing the. It's not about just killing the Brits. It's killing everybody else too.
Yeah,
anybody who's a Templar is your enemy. It doesn't matter what side they're on, and that comes into play because
there's also bears.
There's also bears, wolves, and deer. So after that, they went to Shootmania Storm. Now, Shootmania Storm is essentially the guys who made Trackmania. Yeah. Why would I ever get that? Mania is in every single one of their names. Trackmania was a pretty good game. They had Trackmania 2 Canyon, which released recently. And this is Shootmania Storm, which is essentially in a stormy area. And you can build your own maps. The game essentially is a one-shot kill from the looks of it.
Yeah. Maybe there's a setting for that.
It's laser tag, and they had some really bad banter for a while. This is where things kind of fell apart. Yeah, they kind of didn't know how to do it, so they just kind of made something wrong, and then they're like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. And then they walked out and had these
E-gamers come out.
Esports.
Esports. And had to play, and then they got massacred.
That was the low point. It's a shame because the game might be actually good, but the way they turned it into this full spiel about how it's esports unlimited, like evolved and all that stuff, it was like, whatever.
Thank goodness that the next thing they did was Watch Dogs.
Yeah. Now the game was being pitched. I thought it was over. I was like, oh god, please don't end it with Shoot Mania. Then after that, and then she's like, okay, new franchise. It's a new IP being developed by Montreal. And what happened is you see like this guy walking through the city. It's about.
This new server that basically is that everything in the world is attached to this
OS, and you, as a hacker, somehow have access to it. And so what happens is as you go into this area, the character hacks into the area, is able to turn off people's cell phones, and then able to walk into places, change certain things,
turn off cameras,
and be able to hack into other phones and see people and find out who's got outstanding warrants. And that information.
And also read their medical history as they walk around.
Yeah, and you get to see all these ways. And this guy was going for a hit, and so you end up going to you get the guy's attention. And as he starts coming in his car, you turn off the lights to make them all
crash.
So they make a car crash, and then you pull out a gun and it becomes over the.
I really hope that it becomes a shooter. I really hope they don't focus too highly on that when the game finally comes out, because the idea of the big tagline is the city is your weapon.
Yeah.
And you're actually the villain in this game. You're actually doing evil things within the city.
Well, I don't know if you're doing full evil stuff. You're clearly
killing people.
Oh yeah, it's clearly chemical. It's warfare between you and other people. And then of course the end, the guy you get shot, and you're about to get shot, and someone snipes you. So someone snipes someone from you, and then it comes. No, they don't snipe you.
They're watching you.
They're watching you.
And it bans out, and it turns out there's another player, right? Another hacker who has to help you, and you realize that maybe the game's about you jumping between person and person.
Yeah, it's really interesting elements, and it's looking great graphically.
And some people speculate that it might actually be next gen, not this current gen.
Yeah, the current statement is PC 360 and PS3. They would not disclose anything about next gen, and no words about Wii U either. But the game looks really smooth. I like some of the premise. He walked really slow though, and I didn't like.
I think that was
that was more just to showcase the location.
Yeah,
but I did not like the game when suddenly you had to pull out your gun. It's like you notice when you create a car crash, it literally created a scenario of a shooting segment. It's like, well, what happens if you did this? Would that create a shooting segment all the time? That comes into question. And besides that, the game looked ace. So
yeah, that's Ubisoft.
Yeah. So what was your favorite thing about the show? What was your favorite game?
Based on what we've seen
from this conference specifically, nothing else.
Okay, Rayman Legends was very fun. Watch Dogs though was beautiful, and I love the concept.
Yeah, and I have to agree. Rayman Legends was a great demo, probably the best demo of all the conferences because it actually worked so well. And Watch Dogs was a great introduction to a new IP. So I'd say both of those games are top games choices from the Ubisoft conference.
Overall, Ubisoft was amazing.
It was perhaps the best.
They had enough game coverage across all the boards.
Yep,
so everyone got covered, both for the family and for the hardcore. It just rung the gamut.
I think it may have gotten slow with Splinter, Blacklist, and Avengers kind of in there, but then again, they got to do that. And they're really strong for supporting the next gen of games, when Wii U, and games this generation with big games as well. They have themselves covered. I think they understood what people were willing to see, and they actually delivered. So that's Ubisoft. How did the other two big three handle? Find out by going to the next videos.